is they paying you? They paying you, and they have their kids half the time. Or in some situations, 75% of the time. You know, this has always been a problem. I'm not gonna just always been a problem, and it's about time they start fixing this. Yo, we back at it again, or we? Alright, I ain't even gonna do all that extra stuff. I ain't gonna even bother y'all with all that extra stuff. We just about to, you know what I'm saying? We about to just get into it. Today we're reacting to moms can't cash out anymore. Divorce rates crash. Lawyers are panicking. Video by Remy Reed. This actually sounds like it's gonna be fire. I'm not gonna hold you. This sounds gonna be fire. In the big lord of 2025. If I gotta tell you what to do, I'ma come in your dreams and I'ma haunt you. Now let's get into it. Let's hope I don't yak too much in this vid.
Divorces in Kentucky just collapsed by 25%. Not because couples suddenly found love again, but because the cash out game is over. For decades, divorce was treated like a jackpot. Mom walks away with the kids. Mom walks away with the check. And dad? He's reduced to a weekend visitor and a paycheck.
One state just nuked its divorce rates by doing one rare thing that the rest of America would never dare.
And there is a real danger that the divorce rate is going down because it's harder for women to leave.
If I have my child half the time, why am I paying full support? Like I'm not even around.
I ain't never
I'm feeding
understood
them,
that.
clothing them, taking them to school, wiping their tears.
I ain't never understood that. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. From the beginning of time, whenever this started to become a thing, I never understood why, if you got the dude on child support, even if it's vice versa, I mean, it goes both ways. I'm not gonna hold you. Why is they paying you? They paying you, and they have their kids half the time. Or in some situations, 75% of the time. You know, this has always been a problem. I'm not gonna just always been a problem, and it's about time they start fixing this. I gotta see what state did this, cause this need to go nationwide, but I gotta see what it is first.
Just like she is. But somehow only I have to pay up. This system don't reward fatherhood. It punishes it.
Kentucky flipped the script.
Literally.
They became the first state in America to pass a law making 50-50 custody the default. And the moment that happened, something incredible and honestly terrifying for some people was exposed. When women realized they could no longer cash out through the courts, divorce filing dropped overnight. A full quarter fewer divorces in one state compared to just 18% nationwide. Men call it fairness. Women's group, they call it dangerous. And that clash right there between fairness and fear is why this story is exploding.
There are reports coming out of Kentucky that the divorce rate has completely plummeted. 25%. It's gone down 25%. Like, that's significant. You know, when the divorce rate nationally rests, I don't know, I think a little bit above 50%, to have it drop 25% in one state means to pay attention. It's a reason to pay attention.
And here's the kicker.
25%. Now let's think about this logically. If you were to Google the divorce rates now, I think it's around like 70 to 80%. It's up there. You know what I'm saying? There's probably like hundreds, if not thousands, of divorces happening every day. So they passed this one thing, cause you know bitches like their money. They passed this one thing, and this shit drops by 25%. I don't know. I can't even say if this is a phenomenal thing. Like, this is amazing, obviously. But now they're initiating more sufferable relationships. You know, it's like, cause I'm not trying to sound like. I'm not trying to sound like crazy right now, but it's like, okay, I can't really say the women is suffering when they chose to marry that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if they did for the money, like, you know what you did. So it's like, this is really like, you know, I mean, it's 50-50, you know what I'm saying? But then again, there's really, the fault here is the person who married the other person for their benefits and not really for them, you know? This is gonna, like, save really the fathers here. Like, I ain't gonna hold you, like, because 70% of divorces are initiated by women. So this is really gonna help out the father to maintain a two-parent household, even if it's not healthy. They can keep it healthy for the kids. I don't condone this, by the way. They can keep it healthy for the kids, but for them, they probably gonna still fight behind closed doors. I don't know. That's a bit straw to suck on. I ain't gonna hold you.
The money numbers prove it. Before this law, a dad making $4,000 a month would be forced to hand over nearly $10,000 a year in child support. After the new law, that drops to maybe $200 a month, sometimes zero. We're talking about a $7,500 swing in every year. Plus,
Yes, sir.
something even bigger, half of his child's life back. I'll break down that math in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why this single change sent shockwaves through the divorce industry. Because let's be real, if divorce filing dropped by 25% the second the financial jackpot disappeared, what does that tell you? For years, men have been told, no, it's not about the money. Women just aren't happy. But the data speaks louder than the excuses.
Telling you.
As soon as the reward for leaving was gone, so was the rush to file divorce. And that's why this law is stirring up a storm. Fathers say it's justice. Critics say it's a trap. Women's group are arguing that it locks moms in marriages and puts kids at risk. But let's look at the bigger picture. Florida, Arkansas, West Virginia, Missouri, they've already filed Kentucky's lead. And right now, over 20 more states are considering it. This isn't just about Kentucky.
So, 4 other states have already started this as well. If Florida's in there, Florida's big. Florida's really big. So if Florida's in there, there's a lot of mad women down there. They need to bring this in Georgia. I mean, I think like all of the hot stuff really be going on in Atlanta, but they need to bring this in Georgia. Cause bro, if you take out the money aspect and get into divorce, what's the reason of getting into divorce? But then again, that kind of goes back to what I was trying to say earlier. Marriage is a commitment. I ain't trying to get all sapping or whatever, but bro, if you're gonna get married, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing for my future wife? You try some bullshit like this. Ugh. All right, well, never mind. I can't find it, but I had this little toy shotgun. It's going across your head. That's all you need to know. 12 water pellets in your brain.
This is the beginning of the end for the divorce cash-out system. The critics say this law puts women and children in danger. But when you actually look at the facts, and when you see how much the system was really built on men's wallet, you'll understand why this law isn't just saving families. It's exposing the truth about modern divorce.
I don't think it's necessary. We split her 50-50. She's at my house just as much. She's with me just as much, if not more.
Your Honor, I would say that's probably an argument for her to pay me. If we're splitting 50-50, I shouldn't have to pay all of it.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. So you kind of told on yourself. So you ready to move forward with the numbers?
Sure.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get ready with the numbers.
I like that judge too.
So it looks
She's
like
awesome.
you make, like I said, $100,000 a year. Do you work overtime, or is that regularly what you make?
No, I work overtime. But
Okay. And does that include overtime?
yes, ma'am. It's a salaried position, so it's just straight up.
All right,
Oh,
let's put some real numbers on this, because the math is what makes it undeniable. Before Kentucky passed the 50-50,
I like that judge. Is that Judge Judy? I don't know, but I love her close because she's completely fair. And every time you see somebody coming in with the BS about child support and stuff like that, nah, she's quickly to shut that down, like most women should. She look past the bullshit and do what's right, not what's wrong. I like that.
the typical story looked like this. Dad makes about $4,000 net income. Mom gets the kids 80% of the time. Dad gets every other weekend and maybe one dinner during the week. Under those guidelines, child support lands around 20% of his income. That's about $800 a month, nearly $10,000 a year, gone. And remember, that's on top of insurance, school costs, and extras he still has to cover. Now,
Literally.
after 2018 with 50-50 custody as a default, same dad, same income, but now he has his kids half the time, which means child support gets offset. Instead of $800 a month, he might pay maybe $200 to $300 a month. In some cases, if mom makes close to the same amount, he pays nothing, zero. That's not just $7,500
right
a
there.
year staying in his pocket. That's also half of his child's life back. He's not just a paycheck anymore. He's a parent again. And this is where things get heated. Because if you think men celebrated, you're right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
women's groups, they lost their minds. They say this law traps women in bad marriages and puts kids in danger.
We don't care.
But when you actually look at what people on the ground are saying,
not for the kid.
The story looks very different. Top male comment. If divorces drop by 20%, the second child support dries up. That proves it was never about happiness. It was about the money. Another father says, for once, courts don't see me as just a wallet. This is the first time in decades I feel like an equal parent.
Literally, like, this is more, like, it's, but everybody with, like, common sense always knew it's about the money. That's why that saying became a thing, like, everybody can be bought, bro. If you put a certain price on somebody's head, bro, they will go for it. You know what I'm saying? So, especially, like, bro, come on, like, especially women. So, like, let's say, you know what I'm saying? You make $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, and they hear that you have to pay them you have to pay them $5,000 to $6,000 a month child support. You don't think they're gonna go for that, knowing that they ain't gotta work a day in their life for like the rest of their life, or for at least 18 years of that child's life? You don't think they're gonna go for that? That's what I was saying. They got the biggest side hustle in America. They have the biggest side hustle in America. Not everybody can do this now. Not everybody can do this. But all you really gotta do, bro, is like what those famous women be doing, bro. Just go have a kid with a famous person and just dip. You literally are in a money glitch. It's literally the money glitch right there. I tell you, ultimate side hustle. That's the real money glitch right there. Hey man, it's like that. It's like that.
Mom's comment. I'm in a Kentucky mom group, and women are literally deciding whether to leave their husbands based off of this law. It's hard for them now. Someone responds to.
It's crazy.
Hard for them? You mean hard because they can't cash out anymore. This isn't trapping women. It's finally equality. This is what makes this law explosive. For men, it's not just about saving money. It's about finally being seen as more than just disposable. For critics, it's the end of a system they quietly benefited from for decades.
Literally.
And that clash, fairness versus fear, equality versus entitlement, is exactly why this debate is spreading beyond Kentucky. Because here's the part no one wants to admit. If one state can cut divorce by 25% just by removing the financial jackpot,
right,
what happens when the entire country follows? Now, not everyone cheered when this law passed. Women's group came out swinging. Their biggest claim? That equal custody traps women in abusive marriages.
No, it doesn't.
They argue that judges sometimes overlook abuse unless the father directly harms the child. And yes, there's horror stories floating around. One mother said her husband nearly killed her. And just weeks later, a judge still granted him 50-50 custody. That story spread like wildfire. So, critics are painting this law as dangerous.
Mind you, I don't condone abusiveness. I don't condone abusiveness. But like I said earlier, my guy, if you sat there, because before you even got married, unless you got married within like a year with span, you sat there and seen everything that this dude did to you. And yet you still did it. I'm not gonna say they deserve that. You knew what you was in for. Therefore, why try to play victim now when you knew he did this before y'all had gotten married? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just dumb stuff like that. Like, nah, you knew what this dude was about, but you still settled. He was keeping you around his finger like a ring. You probably did. So you had multiple chances to leave. Now people say it's not easy leaving an abusive relationship. Yes, it is. You just walk. That's literally it. You just leave.
Not just unfair, but unsafe.
You take your chicken legs and you walk.
On the surface, it sounds scary. But when you dig deeper, you realize something else is going on here. Exposing the gray areas. Here's the truth. A lot of what gets labeled domestic violence in family court falls into what lawyers call the gray area. Things like yelling during an argument, breaking a dish, punching a wall, even blocking a doorway. In California, smashing a glass in the middle of a fight can be treated as DV.
What?
Now, I'm not saying those behaviors are good, but should a dad lose custody of his child because he raised his voice once or broke a phone in an argument? That's exactly what used to happen. Before Kentucky's law, those gray areas claimed could tilt custody completely in mom's favor. Equal custody stopped that. Judges now start at 50-50, meaning those small ambiguous incidents don't automatically strip a father away from his children.
So most of y'all know by now that I had a restraining order put on me after 4 years. That's 4 years after the first custody battle. The whole reason why I got a restraining order thrown on me was because I did videos like this. I spoke up explaining why men are giving up on their children, why, just pretty much why, because no one cares why. But if I keep speaking, enough people will start listening to where I can try and get through to some people's heads.
And here's what's wild. The same people who call this law dangerous are the ones who spent years shouting about equality. But the second equality means women don't get a financial advantage. Suddenly, it's oppression.
I'm gonna tell you, like, but everybody knows this by now. Bro, we all know this equality stuff, it's so bullshit. Now let me explain. This is what we want, you know what I'm saying? Because if we're gonna get treated like this, at this point, make it fair for both genders. But it's like for them, bro, it's only fair when it benefits them.
Bomba.
The moment it starts benefiting them, then it's a problem. Like I think at the time it was like getting drafted. It was like, oh no, we don't want to get drafted, nah. But y'all want equality? That's what equality is. Y'all get the same treatment we get. What are we doing here? I always found that the whole estimate to be funny. That's why I was like, that's one of the conversations that'll never come to a close. That's like racism. Those are conversations that can never come to a close because there's always gonna be some new shit starting up in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I just find it stupid.
I'll show you what real equality looks like in a minute and why kids actually do better under shared parenting. But first, let's check the pulse of what people are really saying. Father's comment. This law saved my relationship with my kids. Before, I was a visitor. Now I'm a dad again. Mom, this is a death of a family system. Women and children will suffer. Male response, death of a system? No. It's the death of your free ride. This is the core battle right now. Fathers see this law as justice, finally leveling up the court system that treated them like second-class parents. Critics see it as patriarchy, a rollback of leverage in marriage. And the reason the debate is so emotional is simple. When you take away the financial reward for divorce, you expose what divorce was really built on. Let's zoom out for a second, because while the critics are shouting about danger, the research paints a completely different picture. Study after study show that kids do better with shared parenting. They perform better in school.
Literally.
They have fewer behavior problems.
Literally.
And they grow up with healthier views of relationships.
Literally.
Because they didn't lose a parent in the process. In fact, one of the most powerful comments I saw was from a father who said, "For the first time, my kids don't feel like they're visiting anymore. They feel like they actually live with me."
And women know this. Women know that, you know, I would hope they know this. I've seen some who's completely thought it was the completely opposite, which is completely stupid. But you know your child will thrive with both parents. Like that's just you know that like person like you can just leave whenever you in school, you know what I'm saying? You can just see it. A kid that doesn't have a dad, he lashes out more. Yeah, he can't control his emotions. A kid that doesn't have a mom doesn't really know how to. They don't know how to like be functional around women. One of the two. There's always something that there's something that's been taken when it's not being given. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can see it whenever you're growing up. You can just see who doesn't have two parents, if not none in their household.
That's not just a financial win for men. That's a generational win for children. And here's the part that's going to flip the divorce industry upside down. This isn't stopping with Kentucky. This law is spreading fast. And when it goes nationwide, the system built on cashing men out may not survive.
When it goes nationwide and it gets everywhere, that's when TikTok will be its best to watch, because the agony of these women is going to be justified.
As of this year, 20 more states are considering similar bills. Judges and lawmakers are calling it the new standard of equality. One Kentucky judge put it perfectly. You can't write laws for all families based off the worst case scenarios. And men knows what this means. If one state drops divorce by 20%, shook the system, imagine what happens when dozens of states follow. We're talking about billions of lawyer fees gone, child support revenues slashed, and an entire divorce industry scrambling to survive. One father's comment, this isn't just equality, this is finally justice. Every state needs this law. Critics comment,
this is literally justice for men. Like, this is literally justice. This is what needs to happen. This is literally what needs to happen for the greater good of marriages and men and the children. Because literally the only person that was really benefited off marriages was women. That's why I was very hesitant, you know what I'm saying? Because unless you got a prenup sign. But like, if you don't got a prenup sign, bro, you're literally gambling. Like, getting married is literally nothing but a gamble. It's a coin flip, bro. You got a 50% chance this bitch leave you. For what? Who knows? You got a 50% chance and that bitch decide to leave you. Guess what? All your shit gone too. All that shit you built up is gone by a signature. Just remember that. Those 50 years, 60 years, those 40 years, those 35 years, depending on what you did in your life. All that shit that you built up is gone with one signature. Remember that. One document. Crazy.
This is the death of the divorce system. Women will be trapped. Male response. No, women aren't trapped. They're just not incentivized to blow families up anymore. So, here's the truth men needs to hear. This isn't just about child support, it's about leverage. For decades, the divorce system gave one side all the power. The second that power was stripped away, divorce collapsed. And that's why this isn't just a local issue. It's the biggest cultural shift in family law in decades. Which raises the real question. What happens when the cash-out system collapses nationwide? Because make no mistake, it's coming.
I believe that 50-50 is best, and I believe that there should be a presumption of 50-50 if there is no abuse history, there's no violent criminal history or other criminal history that would inhibit the person to parent the child, that there is no mental health issue that is going untreated that would impact the child negatively, that there's no drug and alcohol issue that's not being treated that would impact the child negatively, that there is no major distance geographically between the parents that would make 50-50 unrealistic, and that there hasn't been a significant amount of time passed since one parent has had contact with the child, like probably a year or more. I think if none of those are present in the case, then I think there should be a presumption of 50-50.
100%, because even though this law sounds very, very freaking awesome, somebody's history is way more important. You know what I'm saying? You have to know somebody's history. That's like when you're trying to get a job. If they seen that you're a criminal, they're not gonna hire you. So like, same thing for these parents. Like, I think they should do, and I'm talking, they should do a damn good job, looking into somebody's history and try to figure out if they had all these problems before they even think about this. Because like I said, I'm not about to sit here and be completely biased. There's niggas that ain't shit. I know some niggas that ain't shit. That shit is real. There's motherfuckers who got them put a baby in you and just haul ass. They don't want nothing to do with the kid. I'm not about to sit and just defend my side. Like, I don't know that we ain't got ain't shit people on our side. Like, bro, there's ain't shit niggas, bro. Just like this ain't shit. I feel like there's more ain't shit bitches than niggas, but we exist too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them.
I think it's what's best for the child.
So let's connect the dots. One state passed a law making 50-50 custody the default. Divorce rates dropped 25%. Lawyers panicked. Women's groups protested. Fathers finally felt equal. Kids got both parents back. And the divorce industry, it lost its golden goose. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. For decades, divorce wasn't just about broken marriages. It was a business model. A system that rewarded one side with custody, cash, and control, while the other side got drained. The second that system got disrupted, divorces collapsed. And that should make everyone stop and think, how much of modern divorce was really about love? And how much was about leverage?
It was never about love.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all divorces are motivated by child support, money, or anything as such. Some people might be really trapped in a marriage from which the only way out would be divorce. But the bigger picture is that this isn't stopping with Kentucky, which means this isn't just a fluke.
I don't understand how marriages even get that bad. Like, what is it? What is it that y'all find out about y'all partners that's like, oh my god, this motherfucker, this is unredeemable. Like, I never really understood that, because if you sat there and you vetted your partners out for a long period of time, you would know that this motherfucker ain't worth marrying. You would just know. I take a long time to vet. Like, even just to date. Like, I wait a year. That's just to get into a relationship. Cause you gotta see you will see somebody true colors between 6 months to a year. If they still the same person they was when you first met them, like, cause ain't nobody about to sit here and wait a year. If they like get fed up with you, they'll show it within like 6 months. Like, 6 months is no small change. That's why I never really understood that concept then. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. That whole thing is just done to me.
This is the future. And the people who built careers off of divorce industries, they know it.
Yeah.
So here's the real question. If taking away the financial jackpot cut divorce by 25% in one state, what happens when the whole country follows? Because make no mistake, it's coming. And when it does, the divorce industry won't just shrink, it'll collapse. For the first time in decades, fathers won't be disposable, kids won't lose a parent, and women won't be able to cash out of marriage like it's a business deal.
Literally. And that was the main thing. It's like, whenever you left marriages, even if the woman didn't make much, but they getting government assistance. They're saying they getting health insurance assistance. They're getting all of this. They get child support money. The benefit for them divorcing you or just leaving, it was more benefits you got to leave than you got to stay. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who the dude was. I mean, you could have an all-star nigga. You could have somebody who's doing good for themselves. The support and benefit that a woman would get for leaving is just far greater than them staying in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And who knows why it's like that? It's always been like that. It's just dumb. But that's how it always was.
That's not oppression.
This is really a good change.
That's equality. That's accountability. So, tell me.
Don't say accountability.
Is this the beginning of saving family?
Don't say that.
Or the end of an entire system built on men's backs? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation isn't ending anytime soon.
It's not.
And to better understand this divorce system, check out my...
It's not ending anytime soon. It's not. Don't say accountability. They allergic to that word. Hey, WV though. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? WV. Hey, this is what needs to happen, man. This right here is what needs to happen. Whew. I can't wait for this to be countrywide, because then I can start seeing the panicking on TikTok. It wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't true. I'm going to leave it on that note. Hey, you already know what to do. Drop it down below. Drop it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hey, see y'all in the next one.